Ghaleb Cachalia, welcome. Great to have you with us. November 18th is a very big day for the DA. There might or might not be a change in leadership, and I believe a big day for yourself as well, as you're a candidate for the position in Gauteng. What is the current sentiment within the DA around a possible change in leadership?
Look, the change we're talking about, or the potential change, is for leader in Gauteng, for the DA. The leader in Gauteng sets the strategy for the province of Gauteng. Now, it's absolutely key that the province, in the run-up to 2019, runs very efficiently and ensures that we run a seamless machine that is able to speak to voters, get those voters out, deliver the message, and ensure victory in 2019. Huge opportunity, huge channel.
Sure.
Get it wrong? No, that's not on. Get it right requires absolute application. Now, I'm of the firm belief that you cannot keep doing the same things and expecting a different result. This calls upon a qualitatively different approach to achieve victory. I mean, why do I say that? Without casting aspersions, just pure fact. The DA in Gauteng in the last election actually flatlined and dipped somewhat. Our registrations were down compared to the national average. We've had huge internal problems, which are now public knowledge because the Sunday Times chose to publish it. Someone leaked it to them, about membership, non-capturing of membership, and disenfranchising of members within the DA. These are problems which need to be fixed. It's indicative of a raft of things that need to be got right. And at the base of this is ensuring that we get our activists, our public reps, our volunteers in a position where they are valued, where they are resourced, where they are capacitated. Why? Because these are the people who are at the interface with the voters. They have the pulse, they feel the pulse of the voters.
Sure.
They understand it. And if we only delegate tasks to these people and do not delegate authority and have a two-way set of communications that informs both upwards and downwards, we're looking for trouble.
What are your issues with the current leadership in Gauteng?
Well, those are the issues that I've alluded to. I've said we've got to fix what is wrong, what has not been attended to properly. The membership issue is one I've talked about. The way we treat our activists and our public reps need to be attended to. We need to attend to how we deal with our internal measurements and KPIs, if you like, for want of a better word, system, because that's very key as to how people are measured and incentivized. Now, those things. There's a lot of unhappiness about this in the rank and file of the organization. Sure. Now, when you have an unhappy rank and file that says we are not being treated well, we are not being capacitated, we are being dictated to, and in any case we dipped in the last election, you say, wow, there's stuff here that needs to be attended to.
So do you believe you are the person that can bring about this change?
I have joined relatively recently. 18 months ago, I joined the DA. I was thrown into the hurly-burly of a mayoral campaign in Ekurhuleni. Together with my team, we brought about the biggest swing in the province away from the ANC, 62% to 48%, a huge swing. On a shoestring budget, I might add, compared to what Johannesburg and Tshwane had. I mean, we had peanuts, but nonetheless, we did extraordinarily well. Why did we do well? I visited every single ward. There are over 100 in Ekurhuleni, some of them multiple times. I spoke to people, I listened to people, I took on board what they said. I listened to our activists, I listened to our public reps. And then we fashioned a campaign, a targeted campaign, to make sure that we got our message out properly, through the right channels, at the right volume, in the right space.
So it definitely comes across as though you totally understand the challenges within the DA in Gauteng. But tell us, what kind of leadership qualities at a very personal level is necessary to run a province like Gauteng, given where it is today?
Leadership qualities come in various guises. Let me tell you about mine. I have a very flat hierarchy. I'm happy to take input on board from anybody, but it needs to be substantiated.
Sure.
And it needs to be argued properly. If it's correct and I am wrong, I will take their view going forward. It's evidence-based and fact-based and data-based arguments that we need. I'm a management consultant by training. I have consulted to the largest companies in the world. I have consulted to governments. I have negotiated with governments. I have run organizations and companies and sat on boards that have thousands, tens of thousands of employees. I have run risk management systems where people's lives were involved.
Sure.
I know how to do this. This is my bread and butter. Add to that the fact that politics runs in my veins. My family has been in the political forefront, the struggle for freedom of South Africa, and after that, for about 120 years. These are things you cannot lightly airbrush away.
Sure.
These are the necessary components of leadership that can be brought to bear in a particular way at a particular time to ensure victory that is crucial to our country, not just our party. Yeah. If we fail our country, because our country is gone south, as it were, with the government that is currently ruling the roost.
Yeah. Why did you want to work with the DA? There are many other opposition parties that you could have chosen to get involved with.
I decided, just as I was turning 60, to roll up my sleeves, to mothball my businesses, and to say, instead of chirping from the sidelines, get involved, join a coalition of the willing. I spoke to a number of people across the board to find out who I could work with and how I could work with to the best of my ability for the best impact possible. During the course of these discussions, I had discussions with the DA. It began to resonate with me that the DA resonated with every fiber in my body. At heart, I'm a liberal with a small L. Yes, in South Africa, there are social imperatives which need to be dealt with. So I'm a social liberal. And the DA provided me with a home that said, welcome, we are in sync with what you believe. Add to that, the DA is the largest opposition party, the official opposition in South Africa. It made complete sense.
Mm-hmm. If you have to look at Gauteng as a province, let's assume that you win this position to be the leader of the DA in Gauteng. What would you like to change in this province? What stands out in your mind that requires strong opposition?
If we win in 2019, well, you've had a foretaste of it in Herman Mashaba and Solly Msimanga in Johannesburg and in Tshwane. There's an absolute need to take a broom, a clean broom, a new broom, and sweep the corruption away. That in itself is a tall order, because the corruption has inveigled itself into every element of our society and of the machinery and the organs of state. Now that needs to be done, but that's not the only task. Mm-hmm. We then need to implement policies that foster growth. Without economic growth in this country and in this province where we are 1/3 contributors to the GDP of South Africa, the largest population group, the most urbanly dense population in the country. We need to champion and spearhead that economic drive that provides growth. We have policies that can do so. We believe in a freer market. We believe in cutting red tape. We believe in a more flexible labor market. We believe in championing the rights of individual people's choice to create their own businesses and to support these entrepreneurs. I would rather have 1 million entrepreneurs than try and create, as the ANC tries to do, 100 industrialists. That's the difference between us. That's the blue, the clear blue water that divides us and the ANC. Those are the policies we will bring to bear, and in parallel we'll clean up this rot of kleptocracy which has plagued our society.
Having said that, what does integrity mean to you as a leader?
Integrity?
Yes.
Integrity means personal honesty, societal honesty, administrative honesty, and honesty in the way you deal with the governance in the organizations that you are in. Those are key. Then you have to, in order to hold you accountable, you need transparency. So it's honesty, transparency, accountability, and targeted action to be measured against. Those are the key things. Get that right, hold those flags up, make yourself accountable, make yourself transparent, you'll get there.
Recently, a year ago, the province experienced a very historic shift in politics, given the new era of coalition that we are living in. How did you read into that?
It's a sign of the times. I think it's a good thing. I think that we are a diverse society. We need to forge unity in our diversity. We cannot imagine that we all will sing from the same hymn sheet. That's not going to be the case. There are strong views on many sides. It resonates with different pockets of people. We're all South Africans. We can find common ground. There are areas where we will disagree. Demarcate those areas and park them. Let's understand where we can work together.
Sure.
I don't believe anymore in this demarcation between left and right. There is, and I think we in the DA hold that ground, that solid center, that is the new way, that is the third way, that is the fourth way, that is the fifth way. It is the way. We can bring those people together. We can be the pivot in the middle, the glue that holds it together and drives this machine forward. South Africa is a great country. We have everything going for ourselves. We need to harness this, and we can do it.
Sure, you almost convinced me there, but November 18th is still around the corner to come.
Absolutely.
And the voting takes place within the DA. Give us a better sense of what happens in the run-up to November 18th. Do you have a robust debate?
Yes, they are being rolled out as we speak. This evening I go to Ekurhuleni, my old stomping ground, where we have a debate between the two candidates, and then it will be tomorrow in Johannesburg. The following week there will be Tshwane and the Vaal, and then on Saturday we have the Big Bang Congress, where everything happens and the votes take place.
Sure. One last question for you. 18 months into politics, only 18 months, but what is your understanding of the DA in terms of how it has evolved since the days of Tony Leon?
The DA has evolved into a very large party. It was once a very small party. Tony Leon grew that party. Helen Zille took it to another level. Musi Maimane has taken it to yet another level. We are now on the cusp of challenging the ANC in a very real way. From long removed from the days when Helen Suzman sat, whose 100th birthday was yesterday, who sat in Parliament surrounded by swathes of old Nat men and voted against every single bit of apartheid legislation that was tabled there. Her courage when she was alone to the courage, has translated and into the courage of her successors. We are here today because she stood then, and we have a historic mandate and duty.
Okay, just one more question.
Yes.
Let's say hypothetically you will become the new DA leader in Gauteng. Will you see the party through in 2019?
Well, the leader of province then is tasked with taking us through to beyond 2019. So that will happen. I suppose what you're asking is, well, I stand for Premier.
Yeah.
I will only stand for Premier if the leader of my party asks me to do so. Otherwise, I will do what is necessary to drive this party forward, whether it be beyond 2019 to 2024, I will do that. Thereafter, I think I might retire and hopefully bounce a few grandchildren on my knees.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank